Hi, my name is Kester from Can I Cook It? And tonight I'm going to show you what you can do with all of your pulled pork that you may not have eaten. I don't know if you're like me, but when I cook pulled pork, I cook a lot of it. And there's only so many tacos that one human being can eat. So what I'm going to do, fun way of using up some food, a fun way of making your most out of your pulled pork. I'm going to make like a tomato soup with paprika, kind of like a bit of a Hungarian feel to it. I think you're going to love it. Behind me on the stove, I've got some oil heating in the pot. I'm just going to cook this off ever so slightly, brown it on both sides, a couple of minutes on each side. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to be cutting my onion. Okay, so I put about a pound of the pork in there. I'm just going to let that cook a couple of minutes on each side, like I say, and get my onion ready. And again, the onion was a vegetable that was made to be cut. There we are, we'll tell you as we go. Okay, with the onion, again I'm going to cut it around like that, and I'm going to leave the end piece, the root whole, and that will hold it together and make it much easier to do my side slices. So I'm going to go in across like this, keeping my thumb out the way when I come over the other side. Same on this one. Okay, and now I'm going to make my cuts this way all the way over to the core. It gets the dice nice and fine, gives you a perfectly cut onion. Okay, I'm going to say it's about 2 minutes that's been in so far. So I'm going to just give the pork a little turn. Leave that side a little longer, I think. Okay, what else am I going to put in this? I'm going to put some carrots in there, some celery in there, so I'm making my mirepoix. Speaking of pois, I'm going to put some petit pois in there, some peas in there. I've got some tinned tomatoes. You can put whatever the heck you want in this. So I'd recommend something like bell peppers, you know, any other hardy vegetable you can put in there. Trying not to destroy my pile of onions. Okay, so just got 4 carrots in there. Tidy all this away. Okay, we're going to dice the carrots there as well to match the beautiful onions. For these, again, I'm going to keep the end whole there just for the time being, so I can cut through it. Just be careful with your fingers here. Make sure you hold the veg like that, like you're pinching your fingers on it. Okay, and for these again, we're just going to go fine dice right the way through. Try and get them about the same size as your peppers. Doesn't really matter that much, but might as well make them pretty. Take this off the heat now. That's nicely browned up. Okay, we're going to whack this back in the bowl. Okay, I'm going to put my onions in now with a bit of olive oil. Turn that heat down a bit, it's quite hot. Just get my onions cooking off initially. The nice caramelised bits off the bottom there as well. Just gonna let those cook down for a couple of minutes while I do the celery. Similar with the celery, same sort of size. And there we go. Okay, so for this I want to put some spices in it. I've got some cumin, I put a teaspoon of cumin in. I didn't have ground cumin, so I'm just using the pestle and mortar. I'm just going to grind those down a little bit. Yeah, it smells incredible. Put some smoked paprika in there, half a tablespoon. And I'm going to put some hot paprika in there as well, which my wife just found. That should be delicious. About half a tablespoon, 3/4 of a tablespoon of that as well. So that's all good to go. And now that's been cooking off for a second, I'm going to throw this in with the onions. Now it's giving a really lovely, lovely flavour off. I realised I didn't have any fresh garlic, so I use this to cheat when I don't have fresh garlic. Little garlic cubes. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to throw that in. Now that's been cooking off for a moment or two. Turn the heat up just a touch. I'm going to put 4 of these in. It's like 1 cube. That's the equivalent to 1 clove. Most important thing about this is, as soon as you've used it, throw it straight back in the freezer. It's really starting to cook down now, so I'm now going to throw in my carrots and my celery. I'm going to add a little bit more olive oil. Just cook those for a minute or two. And now, quite simply, I'm going to throw everything in the pot. So my 2 tomatoes, there we are. 2 14.5-ounce tins, regular sized tins. I'm going to get my pulled pork, throw that in. I'm going to add some chicken stock. So 4 cups in total there. I've got some black beans here that I'm going to give a quick rinse and throw them in too. Like those in, steady as we go. What we'll do, we're going to leave that for about 15 minutes and I'll be right back to add my peas and my tomatoes. It's been going for about 15 minutes now. My veggies are all nicely softened. And so what I want to do now is just throw in a couple of bits for a bit of additional colour and consistency. Like I said, I found these. I'm going to pop those in. Just let that cook through for a sec, turn the heat right up again. And I'm going to put about a cup of frozen peas in there. You don't want to overcook these. About another minute, I'm going to add the peas. Okay, so about 1.5 cups. And again, I'm looking for a little bit of colour. And those will be done in another minute. And we're good to go. So a couple of things that I didn't mention earlier. I seasoned it quite well. And I actually added some red pepper flakes to it. I felt it needed a bit more spice. I put that on the recipe as well. But season well, make sure you've got plenty of salt, pepper, make sure it's spicy enough for you. We like spice in our house and we should be good. That's it. I'm going to show you what it looks like. There we go. Leftover pulled pork soup. Enjoy.